All right, real quick before the video officially starts, I just want to give you a sneak peek into the damage resistance this build offers. These are mythic difficulty enemies. If you just look at my health bar and look how quickly I get killed there. Now, if I go and take those exact same enemies, but apply my damage resistance, look how little damage I take now compared to before. I even have a couple more goblins shooting me than before too, and I am dying way slower. Welcome everyone to another Edge of Fate build video. And today I'm bringing you another build that is catered towards high-end activities, even including mythic tier difficulty. All the gameplay you're going to see in the video is me at least -50 light under anything I'm doing, just so it does fit the mythic tier criteria. Now this build is going to go ahead and be a revamp / Edge of Fate refreshed version of a build that I have made in the past. It is a invincibility based build. Basically, I try to apply as much damage reduction possible to myself on Hunter and become damn near invincible. The forms of damage reduction included in this build is going to go ahead and be woven mail. We're going to have frost armor. We're going to have void overshield. We're going to go ahead and apply sever to enemies. We're also going to be amplified nonstop. The build really makes you a true tank, a true max defense type of build inside of Destiny. This build is going to go ahead and use Prismatic Hunter. We're going to go ahead and use the relativism cloak. And on the cloak, we're going to have the Spirit of Renewal and the Spirit of Siderachny on it. That class item has low-key become one of my favorite and truly, I believe, one of the most slept on class combinations. I see a lot of people always recommend and talk to me about the Spirit of Endless Light and the Spirit of Siderachny one, which is fun and does provide good source of woven mail. But I personally just really love the combo of frost armor and woven mail. One thing to note too, this build is very loose. And what I mean by that is you really can run whatever weapon you want. In the gameplay you see, and when I describe the build later on, I do use the Wicked Implement. That is just my personal favorite choice, but you truly can slot in your favorite exotic or whatever you want to use in this build. As always, I will provide a dim link down below if you just want to go ahead and look at that and just get the overview of the build. But now let me actually go ahead and show you everything I am running and break down all of the build just so you can easily understand what to do and how to use this build to carry you through any type of high-end, high difficulty content. All right, so first things first, I'm just going to get straight to the point. I'm just going to go over the many ways that we will be applying damage resistance to ourselves in this build. The main and biggest way we're going to be doing that is with the relativism hunter cloak here, and we're going to have Spirit of Renewal and Spirit of Siderachny. Spirit of Renewal makes it when we stand inside of a dustfield grenade, we'll get frost armor, and any enemy that also stands in it will then deal less damage. And the Spirit of Siderachny will give us woven mail anytime we use our grenade. So literally just looks like something like this. Throw your dustfield grenade, stand in it. We have woven mail there in the bottom left, and we have frost armor as well. The third form of damage reduction we're going to have is with amplified here from using Ascension. So literally just by using our class ability with our special ability button, we will use Ascension, and that will give us amplified, which will give us another damage reduction. Another way we're going to have damage reduction is with Facet of Protection here, the Prismatic Fragment. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, and while transcendent, the effect is increased. Just by standing next to a bunch of enemies, I'll have Facet of Protection there in the bottom left. The next form of damage resistance we're going to have is the shoulder to shoulder artifact perk. This does only work though if you are in a fire team. This will not work solo, and this makes it where when you deal sustained precision damage against combatants while near 2 or more allies, you will gain damage resistance. Another way we're going to go ahead and be making it where we take less damage is with the strand verb here, Sever. Sever, basically dumbed down, just makes it where the enemy will do less damage. And the way we're going to be applying Sever is with the threaded spike melee here. So all you have to do, hit someone with your powered melee. They'll get that little green, like Matrix kind of looking debuff, and they'll do less damage to us. And then another way we're going to go ahead and apply Sever is with the Facet of Solitude Prismatic Fragment here. That's just basically going to make it where when we land precision hits on a target, it will release a severing burst around the target, and it will apply Sever to him and anyone around the area. And then just to take it even further, we're going to go ahead and be running damage resistance mods on our chest piece as well. So that right there was all of the ways that we're going to go ahead and apply damage resistance to ourselves / make the enemies do less damage. So now let me actually break down the rest of the build and show you what I'm pairing with those damage reductions that will allow it so that we can apply those to ourselves over and over again and pretty much have infinite uptime on all of those damage reduction situations that I just brought up. So first things first, let's start with the Prismatic Hunter subclass. For your super, it really is up to you, but I am running Deadfall, and that's because of one thing. I am pairing that with the Prismatic Fragment Facet of Purpose. This makes it where when you pick up an Orb of Power, it'll give yourself a class buff based on whatever your super is, So in this instance, I'm running a Void Super. Every time I grab a orb, it'll give me a little bit of an overshield. Now for abilities, you're going to want Gambler's Dodge. You're going to want whatever jump you prefer. And then you're going to want Threaded Spike so that we can apply Sever. And we're also going to want Dustfield Grenade so we can give ourselves Frost Armor. For aspects, we're going to want Ascension. I already brought this up earlier. This is just so that we can make ourselves amplified. And then the other aspect you're going to want that's really important is Threaded Spectre. This just makes it where whenever we do use our Ascension, we'll leave like a clone in the air. And if I go ahead and turn these enemies on, instead of shooting me, most of them will shoot that clone instead. For the rest of the fragments, we're going to Facet of Hope. This just makes it where when we do have those class buffs, we'll get our class ability back quicker. Facet of Balance, this just makes it where basically on any kill we get, we're either getting grenade energy or melee energy. Facet of Protection, like I mentioned earlier, for more damage resistance. Facet of Purpose, like I mentioned before. And then once again, the last fragment is going to be the Facet of Solitude. Now, the fun part about this build is that the weapons truly are up to you. There's a whole bunch of different kind of combinations of weapons you can use. You just need one thing, and that is a stasis weapon. My go-to options for stasis weapon right now is Wicklet Implement. This is honestly my favorite weapon to pair with this build. And that's mainly just because it is a really easy and safe way to apply a bunch of debuffs to targets like slow and freeze. It'll allow us to create stasis shards to get our melee energy back. And it is also an insanely easy and great way to get frost armor using the artifact here called Fever and Chill. And that's because of the bottom text there where it says rapid precision hits with stasis weapons will grant you frost armor. So because of all those things, Wicked Implement fits greatly into this build. Other options include Aegir Scepter. I know I literally just made an Aegir Scepter build a couple of videos ago, but yes, this does fit into this build really well. And in honestly any type of stasis, primary or stasis weapon. The brand new comp hand cannon that is stasis is probably really good in this build. I personally do not have one, so I can't really show it off to you, but I think that will also fit perfectly into this build. For energy weapon, it really is up to you. One thing I can recommend though is if you are going to use a legendary stasis weapon, fitting in Lord of Wolves as your special fits perfectly. Because of all the damage reduction we're going to be able to live and kind of just face tank enemies. So we're going to be able to be right in their face a lot. Being up close with the Lord of Wolves will just delete any enemy. This thing is insane in close range. So basically use your stasis primary and then swap to Lord of Wolves whenever you're close range, using all your damage resistance so you can be close range to the enemy and not die, and just basically pump into them with Lord of Wolves and they will explode. Then once again, for heavy, entirely up to you. Doesn't really matter. For mods on your helmet, you're going to want Stasis Siphon so that we create orbs with our stasis weapons. We're going to want Dynamo so we get our super back quicker. And then in the last slot, if your energy weapon that you are running is going to match whatever super you're running, go ahead and run Harmonic Siphon. But if they are two different energies, go ahead and run Powerful Friends. On the arms, we're going to want 2 copies of Grenade Kickstart. This is going to make it where when we do use our Dustfield Grenade, we're going to get a big chunk of it back by using our armor charges. We're also going to have Impact Induction here just to get our grenade back quicker whenever we do damage with our Threaded Spike. On the chest piece, we're going to go ahead and use damage reduction mods. So I prefer Concussive Dampener here, and then I run Harmonic Resistance. I then also run Charged Up just so that we can carry 4 charges of armor charge so that our grenade kickstart is even better. On the boots, I run Stacks on Stacks just so I only have to grab 2 orbs to get all 4 armor charges, and then 2 copies of Innervation just so we get even more grenade energy on orb pickup. For class ability, I run Bomber, Powerful Attraction, and Reaper. Now for the artifact perks, I already went over a couple of them, but there honestly are a whole bunch of artifact perks this season that boost the hell out of this build. You're going to want one with Frost. This makes it where when we have Frost armor, our stasis weapons will have increased reload speed and stability. You're going to want Tightly Woven. This makes it when we have Woven Mail, our class ability and grenade stats are increased. Fever and Chill, like I mentioned earlier. Frost Renewal is also a great one. This makes it when we have Frost armor, whenever our health gets to that little red section, the critical health, it will release a wave around us that will freeze literally anything near us. Cauterize Darkness is a great artifact perk here if you are going to use a solar weapon. This just makes it where that solar weapon will do increased damage to enemies that are affected by stasis or strand. I already mentioned Shoulder to Shoulder earlier. Shield Crush is great in this build because it makes it where when we have Woven Mail or Frost armor, our melee will recharge faster and deal increased damage. And then we'll also, while we have Amplified, our grenade will recharge faster and deal increased damage. And last but not least, Frigid Glare. This makes it when we have Frost armor, our stasis precision final blows will cause combatants to release a freezing burst. And finally, last but not least, is our stat distribution. You're going to want high grenade stat so that we get our grenade back as quick as possible, because that is the biggest form of damage reduction for us. And we want our class stat to 100 as well, just so we get our ascension back as quick as possible. Then the third stat I recommend getting to 100 is super here. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's always good to have your super up as fast as possible. Another thing that I highly recommend as well is your melee stat. I believe it needs to be around at least a 70, and that just makes it when we do use our ascension, the gambler's dodge will kick in and refund our melee fully. So at least try to get this to a 70, I believe. If I'm wrong about the 70 stat, please fact check me down below. Now, I know that was a lot of yapping. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. You are a strong little soldier for making it through all that yap fest, but that was the whole build. Now let's get into some live gameplay for you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take this into everyone's favorite solo ops here. We're gonna go into Caldera, and with the mods I've applied, we're gonna go ahead and be 51 light under, just so we do get that mythic gameplay feel. All right, basically the way you get all your stacks, stand in this, throw that to get some sever, and go ahead and use your ascension to become amplified. So now we have woven mail, frost armor, we are amplified, we have a clone out, and all the enemies are severed. Now, to be fair, I don't know the exact calculations on what that kind of damage reduction is, but if someone does know the exact numbers for that, please let me know down below. I am so interested in the exact calculations on this, on what exactly the damage resistance slash like damage nullification is. Luckily with this build, we do have a way to deal with pretty much any champion. Now in terms of how you want to actually kill them, it's kind of up to you. I am a very slow burn guy, so I will just sit here and just primary down my champions. All right, that's taken care of. Go ahead and enter the fight like that. Boom, for that. They're all severed. I have woven mail, frost armor, and amplified. One thing to note too, if you do ever feel overwhelmed as overrun, to go ahead and pop transcendence, because that will also give you an additional damage reduction. I guess I forgot to mention that earlier. But yeah, you are pretty much invincible slash unkillable in this build while in transcendence. For a group like this, including a Hydra, we're gonna pop our super here, throw that down on little bro. Why does that only have one block in it? Don't these normally have way more? Go ahead and finish this guy. All right, we're just gonna run past most of these people. Actually, these people up here. Craziness. I should have died there. That's insane. Ooh, I'm gonna deal with these people first before we deal with the boss. Did I hit the rock? I did. Wow. Where's he spawn? Right here, right? Yeah. Boom. Get that up. And now while we have our clone up, I'm just gonna lay into him with my primary for free because he's not gonna pay any attention to me. I mean, hell, I don't even have all my damage buffs. I only have like some of them right now, and I can just stand right in front of bro and just take his damage. Let's see what it looks like if I have amplified up, apply this, and sever the guy. Well, I guess he's just gonna shoot my clone, so never mind. This is a bad test. All right, and just like that, it is dead. That was extremely easy. I didn't die once. There were a couple close calls, but luckily there are kind of fail safes with this build, no pun intended, that make it where when you do become red bar, you can live. That right there was the whole build. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I explained everything very well so that you can understand exactly how the build works, what we're doing, basically how we're keeping up all of the damage resistance. If you have any questions, please do not be scared to ask me down below. If you have any changes you think that would benefit the build, please also let me know down below. There have been times where you guys actually did comment something down below that actually made the build better, so I do appreciate that. It helps me become a better build crafter, and it helps you guys also get the better version of the build that I make in the video. As always, feel free to recommend me builds in the future. If you want to see a video on your favorite exotic or your favorite whatever, I will try to make those as well. But yeah, that's enough yapping. If you made it this far, I love your face, and all you fine ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day.